My name is Paul Ho. I am a business economics graduate. I have aspirations to write screenplays and to direct films. I think that each person has a really great story. Someone might not be willing to discuss a topic, but you could have a film or a short film about that topic, and you could all of a sudden have a space where you can talk about it. And I think that's the greatest power of film. Writing is a really cathartic experience for me. And so a lot of times on my free time, I'm trying to actively engage the creative muscle, because for a lot of my life, I just was not able to. All the time that I spend with friends, or a lot of the time I spend with friends, is just spent dialoguing about these ideas that I have or how I see the world and getting their input. One of the visions for my blog is just that it encourages somebody. And so basically everything I write is usually based out of some struggle or some difficulty that I have. And I just want to encourage people by being able to write about that. When I was 13 years old, my family had just relocated from LA to San Diego, so we were moving into an apartment. And while my mom and dad were downstairs talking with the previous owner, the landlord of the house, I was like snooping around in different closets, just doing like little kid things, you know? And I found this stack of magazines, and then like I opened it and it was pornography. Over time, pornography would kind of serve as this coping mechanism for me, so a negative coping mechanism. So whenever I would feel alone or rejected or not good enough or I was struggling, I would chase like that endorphin rush. Then in my junior and senior year, it started getting more severe because I was more stressed out about where I was gonna go and everything. I tried really hard that first quarter and I gave it my best shot, and I still did very subpar. It was so discouraging, so I started turning to pornography like pretty hardcore. Basically, there was this one experience where I got home at 3:30 p.m. and I started consuming. And I remember looking over outside the window and the sun rising, and I was just like exhausted and I just like knocked out. And I just like felt terrible. For many years, I just kept it secret into myself because I was ashamed of basically like my behavior, and I just felt a huge amount of shame attached to them. And so for me, it was really important when I did finally start finding allies. It helped me a lot in my recovery process. One of my close friends, one time after work, we drove right outside to where his house was, and I turned off the car and we just started talking. And so initially we were just talking about life and just different things, but then our conversation slowly started moving into other territory, and then eventually he just kind of like, let's talk about this. And so we started talking about pornography and our struggles with it. And to me, that was huge because it was one of the first times where I felt like I had an ally, somebody who was also struggling with it, because a big lie that I believed for a really long time was that it was just me. That's a huge part of the recovery process, is that vulnerability. And as terrifying as it is, I think it's crucial because it helps to deal with that inner head voice and that shame. In March, I ran the marathon, the LA Marathon. And me, loving people, I was like trying to bring in allies to run with me. And I was like, guys, let's run the marathon. So people were like, down, let's do it, let's go. And then I got injured like 2 weeks before the race, hurt my knee, couldn't run without pain. So I didn't run at all until race day. And the first half is great. Like I feel great. There's throngs of people, you know, you just feel this like team, like we can do it, you know, like we're going.
Finish strong.
And then literally at around the halfway mark, something happens in my leg where I'm like, oh, that pain is back. And so the next half of the race took like double the time. And so I'm alone and I'm limping. I went from stopping and thinking about like, I have to finish this race to, I just have to take one more step. Like I just have to keep taking this one step, and it hurts even as I lift it, and I have to put it down in front of the other one, and it hurts, but I gotta keep doing that, and I have to repeat that. And I think it was such like a powerful experience for me, because I'd never done that. And to complete that, it changed a lot in my brain. It made me realize that, wow, like this thing that was virtually impossible for me to do, I was actually able to complete. And it just like changed a lot of my views, and especially with my journey and my struggle with pornography, it was super encouraging because it was like, I can finish something that thought was impossible. And you know what? Like, I will finish strong. Like, I choose to continue to step, even though it's painful. I choose to continue to go. My journey is ongoing. But the difference is I'm not discouraged and ashamed anymore. It's just more of like every day you wake up and you just keep going. You got to keep taking one more step.